I've been thinking this over for months. It's probably one of my biggest projects yet on YouTube. I did a test firing of my mosin nagant collection. There's 17 rifles involved. Actually, there was another one that was tested, but I sold, so 18 guns were tested. And what I'm going to do is, this is the introduction to it. I'm going to give you an explanation of what we're going to look at, and then I'm going to make a pretty short, quick video of each and every gun with a look at the targets. I got the targets, we'll set them up. We'll look at the targets and the results. All the guns were fired with the same type of military ammo off of this rest at 50 yards. 10 rounds with and 10 rounds without the bayonet attached. And the point is, what we're going to do, I got it written down here. The first thing is, in these videos, we'll do an overview of the gun. And I'll give you the bore measurements and what I found. So basically, we know how worn or out of spec or how different it is. And we'll compare both the idea of, are the older peacetime guns tighter with the bore than the wartime production. Rim lock, I'm not going to get into. I made a video on that. Basically, a lot of the problems could be either the gun isn't clean or the spring tension on the spring and the ejector have a lot to do with it. I covered that in the video. All of these guns, when loaded manually with cartridges, just by hand, fired without any rim lock. Your rim lock is basically when you're clip feeding, that's when the cartridges will stagger down and get out of the line. If the mechanism in the rifle is working properly, you won't get rim lock. Some people have rim lock on some guns and some don't. So that's another topic, we're not going to cover that. We will discuss how the bayonet affects accuracy. That was another big question. And what I found just in general is it has an effect on about 80% of the guns. It does change point of impact or make it more or less accurate. Some guns it doesn't change. One I fired didn't change the point of impact whatsoever. And another gun I had actually attaching the bayonet made it shoot worse, not as tight as a group. So a lot of these things which are true and observations people have made, it all boils down to one thing. These are surplus guns. These guns were produced both, some of them over 100 years to 60 years ago. They've all been reworked and refurbished. I don't believe any of these are in their original military condition or, haven't been re-arsenaled at least once, if not several times in the past 60 years. So it's kind of difficult to say, oh, well, the gun right off the factory floor was like this. Well, we don't have any examples. And with most military surplus guns, when you get them, hundreds of thousands of them at a time, they will vary in their performance, their accuracy, and how good they are, no matter which model or make it is. Because you don't know what the history of the weapon was or what has happened to it, So basically, you got to go by, if you get a gun and it shoots well enough for you to, you like it, you're satisfied with it, and consider yourself lucky, you got a good deal, whether the bore is worn or not. It depends what you're doing with it too. If you're just shooting it for fun, recreationally every now and then, if you're a collector, or if you're going to use it as an inexpensive hunting rifle, modify it with scope. It's all up to you. So there is no real. There are some pointers when picking one of these out of a bunch, but really it's always a gamble. There's no 100% way to know until you get the gun, shoot it, try it. Basically, that's the thing. So again, we're going to cover the guns, cover the results, and give you some ideas what I did, and we'll go over it that way. So we'll have this. This is the introduction. And like I said, we're going to cover 17 or 18 guns. And basically a series of, I'll try to make each weapon short, you know, the overview. Other than this Sestroretsky one here, I might spend a little time on this because it's pretty unique and unusual. We'll probably spend more time looking at the guns of the more unusual ones. There's different things that are kind of odd or features on them. I'll go over that. All right then.